So what if I told you that the Bitcoin cycle is here, the bull market, and everything would increase in the next 2 years? I bet you'd like to be prepared for it, right? Well, keep watching. In this video, we want to explain what a bull cycle really means, how to prepare for it, and what you should really do towards the end of it. We've been teaching cryptocurrency since 2017. This channel is relatively new, so if you like what we do, please leave a like. And if you want to, subscribe, hit the bell button so you don't miss anything. So before we begin, realistically, you should have done something already. You should already be in the market. You should have bought said crypto. But even today, when I talk right now, some altcoins are low in value, even in the BTC pair, which I will explain in this video. So stick around so you understand the basics around the Bitcoin dominance and why it could give you some free BTC down the line. You must also remain in the market to take the opportunity that the market gives you money. If you buy low, you need to sell at some point, right? By just vanishing and just leaving it when it just gets a bit boring, or mainly leaving it before the potential crash happens, could lead to losses. You want to survive, you want to keep your capital, and this video will essentially show you certain things that you can do to enable you to survive. But the main thing that people trip up on, and this is very, very obvious, is the noise. You need to ignore that noise because you will jump into new trends, new fads, new things with the wrong mindset. You need to buy low, keep that capital, grow it, and risk very small amounts on those newer niche bull narratives. That makes sense? So don't just sell something that you like and think that you're going to make more money down the line when you're not. Mid-cycle, you're not going to make nowhere near as much if you're buying at the absolute lows. Profit taking is key, risk management is key, but distribution of wealth from these lower coins that you've been buying already are going to be much more important. Multiples. So let me explain all this on the screen. It's super simple, super straightforward. We're going to go through the simple process of how to basically survive a bull cycle without destroying yourself at the other end of it. New website on the screen. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. learningcrypto.co.uk, same website URL, just different articles, guides, all that kind of good stuff. But let's talk about what is happening. First things first, within every cycle, we have a thing called halving. Litecoin comes first. And then we get Bitcoin, right? So Litecoin, 125 days. Bitcoin, just under a year now, okay? Why are you asking? Why are you saying this? All that kind of good stuff. But reality is, the market cycles happen every time based off this, oddly. Apart from maybe the first one where it was very unknown. However, there was still a price rise. Fundamentals are telling us that scarcity of crypto and holding Bitcoin is vitally important. So it's probably a good thing to have some exposure there, and why the bull cycle narrative is always apparent when this happens, right? Miners get more ambitious with their equipment. They get more and more stuff. The hash rate increases, so does the price. As the hash rate does increase, so does the security protocol within the Bitcoin network, and that becomes a more viable investment for most people, right? Scarcity is huge, supply and demand is huge, right? So let's look at some facts here in the market. On the screen, Bitcoin dominance is at highs since June 2022. What does this mean? It means that the Satoshi values of your assets are at the lowest they have been for a very long time. There's a lot of coins, cryptocurrency assets that are low right now in the BTC pair. Bitcoin pair, if you go into your exchange, if you're wondering, you can buy in USDT, you can buy in USDC, you can buy in Bitcoin, you can buy in Ethereum, and even on some exchanges you can buy in BNB, Binance, on KuCoin you can buy in KNC, or KCS or whatever it's called, I can't remember what we call it now, but you get the idea, right? You can buy in different pairs. But what does it really mean, right? It means that the cycle is totally changing, right? It indicates that Bitcoin is strong, and when Bitcoin is strong, it is green. And green equals confidence, equals people talking about stuff, equals potential risk assets being used for investments, right? i.e. the bank market looks a bit terrible right now. Let's look at gold, let's look at silver, let's look at Bitcoin. So this kind of narrative of a potential new cycle hype starting to rumble on now is looking more apparent. Now let's look back a Bitcoin, right? This is what I've currently got in terms of analysis. We're kind of consolidating. We have went low and we may well go a little bit higher, but we have been in an uptrend throughout the course of 2023. This has been most of 2022. Pretty dire. That was it. The bear market. We are bottoms, we are low, and we are still low, realistically, right? Stable currency dominance is doing exactly what we wanted to do, which is good. But let's talk about the previous sort of cycles, right? So when we talk about the previous halving, we had a bit of hype beforehand, a little bit of a weird push, and then we have a bit of a downturn. But it was a very, very long, horrible bear market in 2018. The reason being was because of the ICO market and the futures market. It was very, very strange. There's a lot of influencers out there that's saying that we are going to go much higher in dominance, and I don't think that's the case personally because the market is very different. So what you need to know is the cycles are vitally important. Now you can see here, previous cycle, drop, push back up into some kind of, let's just say hopium, and then we kind of tailed off a bit, and then the COVID crash happened, and then boom. Bitcoin halving was around this sort of time, that cycle, right? And then all of a sudden, the brakes just went off and off we went, right? You can see the massive run. We have pulled back a lot, kind of obvious. So realistically, what you need to try and do is get in when no one is here and get out when everyone's here, right? That's kind of the obvious caveat here, right? It's kind of simple, but you got to look at what you think is undervalued and what you think is overvalued. And that's just Bitcoin. Said it at the start of this video. A lot of things are undervalued. How? Why? What you on about? Well, when you look, again, Bitcoin dominance is high. When we look at where the USD dominance has been as well, much higher. We are dropping right now. That is an indication that Bitcoin is growing in value and it's pulling a lot of the altcoins with it. Not so much though. Let me explain, because when you look at these BTC pairs, and I mentioned before, they are low. Look at Polkadot right at this low level. Even Ethereum has been dropping significantly over the last few months. It's starting to now bounce, and we're on the 3-day time frame. Cardano, look at where it was. Miles away. Absolutely miles away, right? So it's all, yeah, it's random when you think about it. So, wow, these are so low. This is where the opportunity is. To survive a bull market, you've got to buy at the correct time, right? If you are buying at these rallied up hype cycle areas, the chances of you surviving without getting burned gets lower and lower. When no one is here, like now, let's be fair, I still think there's not a lot of people back here. We can see that in our memberships. We can see that in like the engagement on our platform. Still very quiet. It's quite nice, right? So there's opportunity there. If you want to check out our links, check out below. £10 a month into premium, you will get a lot of information. There's like gazillions of videos. It's ridiculous. But you get the idea, right? You need to buy low and you need to look at taking profit when it gets high. So how do you take profit and how do you get that success? Well, you need to wait for the dominance to drop and change. What will happen over the course of the next couple of years at these lows, no matter how long we stay here, it is an opportunity, in my opinion. If you are bullish on crypto and you want crypto to succeed, you are A, investing for that reason, and B, you are being patient to mature the investment, right? What we need is this recipe. The recipe is simple. Now, this could go higher. If it goes higher, it would equal more time of accumulation to buy the lows, no matter what you buy, whether it's in USD, whether it's in Bitcoin. But what we need to happen is eventually over time is this to drop. If Bitcoin dominance drops, therefore altcoins and all the market is running alongside and actually beating it. You've got to remember Bitcoin is only one thing. Got to have exposure to it. It runs the market. But this is why we get alt seasons, right? Alt seasons are hugely important. If that drops, equals alt season. If this also drops, which is a stable currency dominance, that would indicate that the percentages are going lower, which means more things are going in the market, the bull cycle. Now, this was going up aggressively during the bear cycle for obvious reasons, because people were going out of their assets into stable currencies. Now they've returned and returning it back into projects as we are going up. Make sense? Good. Hope it does. So this is why you need to look at these charts and look at the obvious here. When things are high here, you need to look at buying in USD. Likewise, if things are high here, you are going to grow Bitcoin. Now, you don't have to buy with Bitcoin in this situation on this chart. My thing is, you must look at taking profit in Bitcoin if you want to grow it for free. It's hard for people to get their head around, but you need to go onto the likes of Binance, press the pairs, and you will see they are known as Satoshis. Polkadot equals 2,271 Satoshis, which equals the formula of the price of Bitcoin, which is currently 28,573, would equal the price of $6.49. It is just the price. If Bitcoin runs hard and these do not go up with it, yes, they'll go up a little bit. And you can see this today now. 1.52% for Bitcoin, 0.89% for Polkadot and USD. But when we look at that, it's down 0.53. If you add them together, it will give you pretty much near that formula, right? So this is why we say Satoshis are bleeding. So you need to understand that the tips for success is simple. You need to buy low, take profit, and sell at the right times in the right pair if you want to survive. Put it that way. Because there might be times where you will buy USD pairs and you will sell in certain things, and sometimes it'd be better off buying in BTC because it would hold better than your altcoins, essentially, right? It's hard to get your head around. But I mentioned it before as well, ignoring the noise. Throughout this bull cycle, whatever happens, you're going to start seeing things like this. This is Solana, just go up like a rocket ship. And it clearly it did, right? But a lot of people were buying into the hype going, oh, it's going to go to $500, it's going to go to whatever. Mid-cycle, if you're buying at, say, $130, $140, what's the point? Because if you had the opportunity to buy this at the start of the year, 2021 at $2, right? Why would you buy this and then $131? It just doesn't make sense, or over $150. Because you need to make money, and to make money, it's already ran out a 50x already, pretty much, give or take, which is scary. You want it to go and make you a 10x? Very, very unlikely. So you need to buy these projects early. You need to hold them. If you do want to get involved in some other little niche things and little pocket coins that go off on little runs, you got to be A, early, and B, don't do it with money that realistically could make you even more money. That's my biggest mistake from the previous cycle. I took profit on some really good assets where I shouldn't have. I still made money, but I could have made much more if I just held on. Simple, really. So you got to be careful. But yeah, you need to buy when the market is low. Altcoins right now is low. We're teaching everyone within our courses, within our platform, they're still low. You've not missed out. The only thing that you're missing out on is maybe Bitcoin. But you can grow your Bitcoin, which is what we teach, all for free. And I've just showed you in this video how to do it. So if you missed it, go back and you'll see.